Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to read through the dev note number 23. It doesn't seem to be that long, but there is a lot of important information about the upcoming June 18 update. So really excited to read through it, and let's comment on the different points that they're going to share with us. The first one being the ignition weapon refining system. Now this system, they shared it with us in the live stream and the previous developer notes, and it is an extremely interesting system. We're going to have basically two dices, and one of them will allow us to change the stats that got the upgrade, and the other one will allow us to change the high and low roll of the stat. We're going to see what that means in a second, but it is really, really good news. I really like this system. I'm happy that they introduced it this quickly, and together with the rework of the old ignition weapons, it would be a really necessary system. But we'll have to see how many dices we can get, how easy they are to obtain, and how we can balance when we want to upgrade pieces and when we want to obtain more dices to reroll the stats. So that's going to be maybe tricky, but we'll see. So here they just had the survey about the reroll system. I don't know who the 11.3% people that voted no are, but okay. So yeah, most people were positive about the system, so that's good. And then here they just shared with us how we're going to be able to obtain these items that we're going to see here in a second. The first way will be to dismantle and use the ignition weapons to obtain some weapon fragments that we can then exchange with the refining items. So that's going to be probably the main way. And we will have to, again, find the balance between which ignition weapons we want to burn and which ones we want to just use to level up the other pieces. So we cannot obviously dismantle all of them, because then we might lack the EXP needed to level those pieces up. But I'm sure we can find a balance. It shouldn't be too difficult. And the second way would just be to obtain them through the Pioneer shop. They're going to be added in there, and various events. We'll see how many those will be and how many we will get, but it's definitely good that they're thinking of adding that. And then they're going to share with us the different items that we can get. The first one is the item you get when you dismantle, so the weapon fragments. I think nothing much to say here. Then we have from the weapon fragment exchange shop, we can obtain 3 items. The first one is the soul dice, then we have the ignition dice, and then we have the restoration powder. This is also interesting. They did not mention this feature, but I'm happy they introduced it, because you can use this powder to revert to the previous refinement. So you use the dice, the result is not better than what you had, you can roll back if the previous one was still acceptable. Obviously, if the previous one was trash, you might as well try again to reroll it. But yeah, that's the idea, and I think it's a good addition. And yeah, the 2 different dices, what they do, I think it's explained maybe later. So I guess we can read through it first. Okay, so the first point here with the GIFs is to show us where the dismantle button is, as we can see here in the unit page. Or now they added these buttons as well in the ignition weapon tab in the bag. So that's really good, because all the other times you had to go, also when you wanted to fuse something, you had to go in a unit for some reason. Now you can do it from the bag directly, which is pretty cool. And then let's see what else. The last one. Okay, you can also dismantle for some reason from the secret floor. Okay, fine. And then here they have the gifts showing how we can obtain these kind of items. The one in the middle is the Pioneer shop. We see the prices are quite high, if you ask me. Especially the last one is really insane, but could be interesting nonetheless. So here they show that they're going to select all C and B rank ignition weapons. They're going to add them, and they're getting 1,844 fragments. Now, the ignition weapons selected seem to be quite a lot. I don't know how many we will get per C rank item and how many per B rank, no idea. But here we see how many we need to exchange for the dices. We have 23 for the soul one, and 230 for the ignition one, and 46 for the restoration powder. We're going to see how many we're going to need to roll back, but yeah, that's just in a second. Then what they're going to say, they're going to demonstrate what they do. Okay, we're not going to read through it. We are just going to comment on the actual video or GIF. I don't know why they keep calling it video. Okay, so here you use the dice. You see we had 3 upgrades on Magic Peers and 2 on the first one, and now they've been redistributed. So that's what changes. It also changes the rolls, I believe, because it was not, yeah, it started with a 13. Now let me see, changes again. So high and low rolls can also change here, but you will also change the distribution. So now it's a 15, just 3 upgrades, and then it became a 13.5 with 4. So it does change high and low rolls as well, but it will randomize everything. So this one is the more random approach, but you will need to do this first and until you get the number of upgrades you want on the start. Like in this case, 4 upgrades on Magic Peers is already decent. So you can keep that, and then you can use the ignition dice to further improve it. So here we see uses the dice, and all it does is just change high and low rolls on the pieces. As you could see, he had a starting 13.5, then he changed it. The number of upgrades were still 4 on it, and then you just work on that to get the higher upgrade. That's as simple as that, and really, really cool feature. And then we have the restoration powder. As you can see, when you use it, it will ask you, like if you are sure you want to do it, it will ask you for 3 restoration powder items, and it will roll back to the previous roll. That's it. Pretty simple. More or less the same way as the Trescent's facility works. So you can use, I believe, was Suspendium? Or was that a ticket? No, I don't recall. It's been a long time since I did the rollback in the Trescent's facility, but it was probably an item, like a ticket item or something. So it's the same logic. You go to the previous roll. That's it. Really, really cool. I like the system. They might be a bit expensive. I would not recommend people to go for them in the Pioneer shop. If the prices remain like this, they seem really high. But if we can obtain them easily with the dismantling option, which was shown here, with this one, that would be great. But again, make sure to balance how many pieces you feed and how many you are going to, again, use to upgrade your ignition weapons. So definitely you don't want to burn them all, but yeah, is definitely the main way you're going to obtain them. And then they also include images of the ignition weapon dismantling station. Okay, fine, it's the same as the one above, pretty much. And also the exchange shop that we saw before. So pretty clear. I really like the system. We'll see once we can actually exchange and burn or dismantle our ignition weapons into weapon fragments, how many we're going to get. I don't know. Hopefully enough. But yeah, it's a really, really cool system. I like it. Then we have the first balance adjustment wave for ignition weapons. They started with the first secret floor, so Bergamot and Myeongwol. I don't know why they decided not to do it all together. Probably they don't want people to just go immediately for the best option. They want you to first try out these ones, burn some master keys, and they're going to release the newer ignition weapons that are going to be probably better than these options. And you might not have enough keys because you already used them, stuff like that. I don't know what their plans are. Or maybe they are just really thinking it through. I doubt it. But yeah. So Bergamot and Myeongwol are going to get the improvements this time. And what they're trying to do is interesting. We're going to read through what they're actually going to implement for Bergamot, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on it. So yeah, the current Bergamot, we know what it does, 20% lifesteal. And when you go below 30%, you're going to receive a minor healing and then an additional 20%. All of it is removable, as most ignition weapon effects are. Especially the 2-piece effect, all of them are removable. And they're going to make them unremovable, which is something I asked for also in my previous videos. I said that it was the obvious choice, and luckily they did. So they did implement it. And they also added the second stat. I think this also makes sense because a lot of newer ignition weapons have 2 stats. And the old ones are like not keeping up in that front. So here adding also accuracy is nice. Not that needed, but it is nice. Then for the 4 side effect, they changed it in an interesting way. So the first change is that it's not 40% wielder max HP anymore, but it's 100% and removes all debuffs. Fine, nothing major. Doesn't really prevent you from getting one-shotted. If someone can like remove your life 2 times over, you're still dying. But it is decent, I guess. It is an interesting approach. And then you're also going to have 20% accuracy increase until the end of the battle that can also not be removed. So you're going to have 40% lifesteal, 35 accuracy, and 20% accuracy increase. It is something. I don't think this will make Bergamot relevant anyway. I don't see anyone really running this, but it's a nice attempt. Maybe in PvP it could be a good set. I don't know, but I don't know. Not really. Here they mention PvE, but I don't think this will make it that much better in PvE content. But fine. So this one I think is a bit of a miss, but at least it's giving me hope for the future reworks because this cannot be removed. It's something we need on every single ignition weapon. Then we have the other ignition weapon here, Myeongwol, and this one got really an interesting upgrade, I think. So what they're going to do is increase the resistance rate per stack, fine, and just add an healing block, an energy recovery block to enemies that are provoked or that you provoked. That's insane. So the previous one, we'll know defense increase, and then you get resistances every time you provoke and also HP back, and that's it. That's the end of it. These stacks can be removed, and they can still be removed even after the upgrade. They did not mention any like anything like this buff cannot be removed. It's not mentioned for the stacks, so you can lose them, which I think is fine. What it is important is that you cannot lose the two-piece effect, because that is just stupid. So this 40% defense will stay with you. Great. And then the 30% HP recovery stays. Great, fine. And the stacks, like the magic and physical resistance per stack, is increased from 8% to 12%. The maximum stacks are still 5, so it's a 60% total now instead of 40%. Cool, I guess. And the most important thing is this one. You're going to block HP recovery and energy recovery of provoked enemies for 5 seconds. This is a bit short, yes, but a unit like Karaka can spam a lot of provokes. So this is going to be really massive. There might be people saying, and I mean, it makes sense, so I get it why people are saying it, that this buff can, or this debuff can be removed. But if the enemies are provoked, they're not going to remove it. So this only applies on enemies that you will provoke, and for some reason your provoke is only lasting a very short time. They get out of it, and then they cast the dispel or whatever. But yeah, definitely this is a lot better than people might think. But at the same time, there are not many units that can leverage it. Araka is one of them because he has so many provoke in his kit that is just insane. Yama could be a good unit as well because he has an AoE provoke. We have also Awakened Rock, but he has the provoke on the active skill. I don't really like that. We have also like Child Yuri. She has an AoE provoke on the special move. Could be nice. The duration also matches with this one. It could be interesting. And yeah, we also have some other options, but they're not really as good as Karaka. So I think Karaka is going to be the best user of this set. And it would be really interesting to see it in action. So yeah, looking forward. If it was only one of the two effects, maybe it was a bit disappointing, still good. But having both HP recovery and energy recovery blocked is really good, I think. So we'll see. I will definitely try this set out on Karaka. I still think I have a set for him. So the one I gave him before Bari. So we'll give him back the set, and hopefully it's going to work out well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Myeongwol. Is the better one of the two, I think, that got this upgrade. Hopefully is actually usable. I don't know. Then we have the SSR Plus unit. I think here a lot of people might be disappointed by it And I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed as well. I was not expecting Beta to be SSR plus, but oh well, I was not even expecting Alphine to be SSR plus, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So okay. What I was not expecting is to get this guy in the red element. Okay, the design, we can all say it's pretty cool. But this guy is going to be a red element unit. I was not expecting that because that is the same element as Viol. We're kind of antagonists. I was maybe expecting green, as is also kind of greenish, or maybe blue. But red, the same as Viol, feels a bit weird. It's it's still okay, I guess. So it's going to be an AoE damage dealing unit, and it's going to be an assassin type, it seems. And he also has an effect that when it drops to 1 HP, is then going to enter a state that doesn't let him die for a certain duration and instantly destroys any shield. So that's good. It's like a data machine kind of unit, but if they give him a lot of damage in his kit, it could possibly be a really good unit. So yeah, okay, in this case, they're just mentioning that he can stand and draw aggro effectively. So he seems to be a unit like Datamashini, we'll see. And the lower his HP, the more damage he's going to deal. They're saying he has strong survivability and high impact special move that becomes deadlier at low HP. He's expected to play the role of a disruptive area of effect powerhouse capable of dramatic turnarounds. Definitely a lot. Like it could actually be a really good DPS that Red doesn't have at the moment outside of Gustang, obviously, because the SSR plus units are kind of trash. They did not mention any like HP percent damage, so it will likely be an attack percent unit, which is good because of the other unit that they're going to release here. Also, Evankel, if you have her. There are some units that could boost this damage quite a lot, so it's okay. It could be a really good unit. Again, a bit disappointed about the SSR Plus and the red element, but it's okay. I guess it can work. We'll see. Then we have a totally unexpected unit, Cherila. Her name, I don't even recall her real name. It's different from this one. This is just alias or nickname that she used when we met her for the first time in the Hell Train. She's the sleepy pink hair girl that was always on the pillow. I don't know why they changed her design so drastically. She is not like this, not even close. I don't know what the hell is that. But okay, still, she is that unit. And they also mentioned Barrow Barrow. I wonder if they're going to release her as well. Hopefully not as an SSR plus. If she's an SSR, it's okay. Kind of funny girl, but okay. Yeah, she's going to be a red element as well, magic type as well, and she's going to be a mage. And she is specialized in enhancing firepower of red element teams. Her passive is going to increase movement speed of allies, helping them take position faster. And then she also boosts attack and evasion of main damage dealers. She seems to be meant to be played with, well, I mean, no surprise, Beta. So Beta is likely going to be a close range, so he's going to dash forward. His increase in movement speed is going to help him draw aggro more effectively because it will rush more quickly to the enemy team. Also, additional evasion will help him stay alive. Additional attack will help him deal more damage. And she's also going to reduce the enemy red element resistance with her special move. That is a Shin's Tornado, so we can also expect maybe some grouping or maybe just some sort of crowd control. Definitely, if she has grouping, that's interesting, but I don't know what to expect. And once you reach the maximum number of red element resistance decrease stacks, she's then going to deal damage based on the enemy max HP. She's an SSR, so chances are this is capped. Like Vivi, for example, she will have up to a percentage of her own attack that she's going to deal as max HP damage. She won't deal it uncapped, so she won't have indefinite scaling, but definitely that will bring her potential a bit higher than other SSR DPS units. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll have to see. And they said that Charita is expected to play the role of both a sub damage dealer. So here they explicitly said sub damage. So she's not capable of being a main damage dealer. So this max HP is either very low or again capped. So we'll see. And a must have supporter for red element teams. Not all of them. If you're thinking of using her with Gustang, unless she's, I don't know, providing something more, I don't think that's going to help much. Yes, Gustang has a lot of attack percent in his kit, but the 60% AoE from the passive is most of his damage. So they can work together for sure, but I wouldn't expect that great of an increase. She's definitely going to work with a unit maybe like Viol, Evankel, Beta, or I don't know, any attack scaling DPS unit that is also red. So Ejin as well if you have the collab unit. Nice, definitely has a lot of potential, and we'll see. I'm disappointed about the design, to be honest. I mean, they had to make her more similar to the Manhwa version. This is just too different. Like, no, too different. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I don't know. It's okay. Then we have introduction of multi-deck and element bosses in boss battles. So, okay, they said that we are interested in the weekend boss battles. I think they're pretty cool, so it's fine. And also, people want a more strategic fun and wide variety of teammates that can be used. And they're planning to introduce multi-deck mechanics and replacing the previous non-element bosses with element bosses. I don't know if I'm happy about this change, to be honest, because then you will have to build a lot of different DPS units for bossing. And maybe the ones, like if you're free to play, you might not have enough of them. So this is okay for whales because they have every unit, so they can afford to change it. If you're free to play, maybe you would be like you would like to use maybe the same DPS but changing the rest of the team. I don't know, to counter some specific mechanics. But having to change the DPS as well because of the color change could be annoying for free to play players. But we'll see. Maybe they're going to do it well. I don't know. And also, they mentioned the upcoming weekend boss battle is going to be the first one to feature a multi-deck mechanic. But I mean, we already have it, so they probably mentioned the one from next week, I guess, because Ryan doesn't have it. So, okay. Then we have feedback on suggestions. They mentioned the Pioneer system that was very positively accepted. So that's really good. I think it was a really nice addition. And they also mentioned something about the Shinsu Link growth resources that were also positively accepted, and they are going to try and improve stuff more and more. Fine, and now they're going to provide feedback on some other points. And here we have information on the previously released data tower units. Obviously, a lot of people are disappointed about High Spear Konagero and Spear Baranak not being released yet. And it's really insane. It makes no sense. Like Gusten was released after them, and he already got a rerun. He's a family head. These two units are SSR units. Like, come on. They should have thought of a way to include them in every single data tower to allow you to get the older ones. So yeah, I don't really get why they have to wait for specific times to release them. It's just crazy to me. And they're considering implementing it sometime after the second anniversary. We don't even have a clear date when they plan to release them. And after the second anniversary will mean mid-August at the earliest, which is almost 1 year since they were released. Because I think Ice Peak Connector was released like very early into December, so first or second week of December. And this is almost unacceptable. They're going to wait up until August to have a rerun of an SSR unit. It's stupid. Then we have addition of new items in the Pioneer shop. So people were happy about the system in general, but some felt that there was a lack of actually useful options. I I wouldn't say there is a lack of appealing option. There is a lack of Pioneer tokens because you cannot really progress hard mode that effectively, and the one you generate is not even enough to guarantee the 300 free tickets. well, free with a lot of quote marks, but like they should have probably decreased the price of the tickets a little bit so that people could also buy some other items because you cannot empty the shop every update anyway. So at least give people the option to buy the tickets and something else. Because for people like me that don't need the tickets because I already have every unit maxed, it's fine. We can afford the price. But for people that are just maybe newer players, they want to go for the tickets, but they cannot get them every update if they actually buy them every single time, and they cannot really buy anything else. So it's really annoying, I think. But okay. So more than a lack of useful options is just a lack of Pioneer remnants. And now they're introducing more items. So the weapon refining system, the dices and stuff, we can buy them via the Pioneer shop. And they're going to continue to diversify the shop's item. I really hope they're going to increase the amount we get with hard mode, or that they're going to reduce the prices of certain items. They're very expensive. But okay. Then they also provide feedback on the XSR Plus release schedule. That was insane. And yeah, people mentioned a shortage of normal summon tickets that we definitely had. Annoying. I I mean, this system was very lazy from my point of view. It should not have been implemented. They did it anyway, and it was fine one time. The second one, Urek, should have not happened. Like there was no way Urek should have been an XSR Plus unit. So huge disappointment there. And then they released Kaiser. That's too much. It's too expensive for everyone. Everyone. Nobody wants to spend on normal summon tickets. If it was black market, fine. I mean, for me, it would have been way better to spend black market tickets instead of normal summon tickets because I don't have any normal summon tickets left. I have like 1,400. And if they release two more, I'm done. And it's annoying. So I don't know. I don't know. Very weird decision to release so many of them. They should have just released some SSR units. They have a lot of units that can release as SSR, like Faker, Borrow, Aka, all of those regulars from the Hell Train could have been released easily as SSR units, but no, they are just releasing some XSR Plus stuff and making beta an SSR Plus. So I don't know really, but okay. So they're going to review the adjustments to this lineup release post September. So they already defined all the units up to September. We might get some more XSR Plus in the middle, but they're going to probably slow down after September. I hope they didn't plan too many. That's all I can say. And then there are some additional improvements. Let's see what they have in store here. But the first one is really interesting. Enhanced convenience for using Shinsu Link amplification items. So they added a new tab in the bag instead of the report one that was super useless. And now you can also access those items directly from the Shinsu Link upgrade menu or system. And then you will have this kind of view here. Will let you see how many you will obtain if you open certain amounts. So you can see exactly how much you need, etc. So you don't have to go back and forth from the Shinsu Link upgrade tab and the in your bag. So it's definitely a really nice addition. Really like it. Not that I'm going to open boxes on my main account, but yeah, it's definitely nice when I will have to. Then they added the event schedule system. So this one we see here on the right. Fine, I guess, just to remind everyone of what's going on. But yeah, there's really nothing much to say about it. Then we have some miscellaneous improvements. When you got to a higher number of decks that you have to deploy, so more teams, you would just have all of the previous ones wiped out. Now they're just going to add an empty one, and it will keep the previous three teams. This is just a quality of life, fine. And then we have that new players were overwhelmed by the early unlocking of too much content, and they readjusted the content unlock requirement. So they probably delayed when you unlock certain features. I don't know. I just created a beginner guide with the table with all the information, and now they're changing it. It's okay, I guess, especially because of the next point that we see here. So they reintroduced the stage jump up to floor 50. I guess a lot of people wanted it a lot earlier because they reduced it only for floor 15. Now it's floor 50. And yeah, it would have been better if it was just like that immediately. I don't know why they changed stuff back and forth, back and forth. It's okay. Now it's going to be even easier for new players to just rush their way to floor 50 and enjoy already like 4 teams battle at floor 51. Or no, wait, it was 3 teams battle at 51. Yes. But okay, then we have, in addition, for season 2 of the Alliance Fleet Battle, we have added a push notification feature for when the maximum number of floating ship cores is reached. Fine. We also resolved the issue where battle records could only be viewed for one deck. I don't really care that much about that feature, but okay. And that's all. Those were all the improvements and things that they wanted to mention. They're going to do a live stream on July 14. I will have to see where I will be on that date. Hopefully, I can live stream it together with their live stream, but I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, that's all. Let me know, guys, in the comments how you feel about all of these changing that they're going to implement in the next update, and also how you feel about the 2 newly released units. I really don't know what to think about them. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.